acquisitioned and pillaged. Sunflower oil, all kinds of agricultural produce, anything that Russia can seize and sell. Their aim is to deprive Ukraine of export revenue and use food as a weapon of war. This, my friends, is defined as appropriation of property and pillage. It's prohibited by international law, and the marketing of pillaged commodities could constitute a war crime. But you know what? Russia doesn't care. Russia is carrying on with its looting and pillaging across Ukraine's occupied territory. And why? Because it's the nature of Russia. Because Russia is a terrorist state.
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 Right. I'm going to break shortly for another speaker, but I just wanted to check in. If I'm rude about the Pope, is that going to offend anybody? Sorry, can I just hear that again? If I'm rude about the Pope, is it going to offend anybody?
No.
Thank you, I'm glad. So, I'm going to talk about Pope Francis. Me, I shall call him Dope Francis. How do we address him? Well, I think it's your grace, but actually it's a disgrace. That's what he is. And I don't get the dope, because he tells Russians to be proud of their history. What does he tell them to be proud of? Proud of imperialism, proud of oppression. There's a huge amount for Russians to be ashamed of. The way that Russia even has treated its own people, treated other people, not just Ukraine. It's a history of infamy. It's nothing to be proud of. And what about today? Perhaps the dope should have the courage to call out what Russia's doing in Ukraine. And instead of asking Ukraine to have the courage of the white flag, he should have the courage to condemn Russia's unprovoked invasion. He should have the courage to condemn Russia's constant bombing of hospitals, schools and infrastructure. And he should have the courage of condemning Russia's looting and pillaging in the occupied territories. Or perhaps he thinks that Russia should actually be proud of this too. So, here are a few reactions to what the dope said about Ukraine. Here's from Latvia's president, Edgars Rinkēns. He said, "One must not capitulate in the face of evil. One must fight evil and defeat it, so that evil raises the white flag and capitulates." And Radek Sikorski, the foreign minister of Poland, said, "How about for balance, the Pope encouraging Putin to have the courage to withdraw his army from Ukraine? Peace would immediately ensue without the need for negotiations." And Sikorski's clear, and he's got it bang on, that there are too many people calling for negotiations and denying Ukraine the means to defend itself. And he likens it to appeasement and Hitler before World War II. And he understands that, because the result of that was in 1939, the Soviet Union, Russia and Nazi Germany met in the middle of Poland to wipe that country off the map. So here's the crux. Stop telling Ukraine to compromise. Stop telling Ukraine to negotiate. And start telling Russia to get out of Ukraine. Russia out of Ukraine!
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 So,